My crypto god husband divorced me because I was financially illiterate. He left me with nothing but my old teddy bear. He didn't know that bear was holding $40 million. My name is Sarah. To the world, and especially to my ex-husband Jason, I was the trophy wife with a liberal arts degree who couldn't balance a checkbook. Jason was a visionary, a tech bro, a man who wore Patagonia vests and talked about disrupting the industry while checking the price of Ethereum every 30 seconds at dinner. For 7 years, he controlled every penny. He gave me an allowance. He checked my receipts for grocery shopping. He lectured me on the difference between assets and liabilities. "You just don't understand money, Sarah," he would say, patting my head like I was a golden retriever. "Leave the thinking to me. You just look pretty and keep the house clean." I let him believe that. It was easier than fighting. But Jason made 2 fatal miscalculations. First, he assumed that silence meant stupidity. Second, he assumed that he was the only one in our house who had discovered Bitcoin back in 2011. He was wrong. While he was busy losing our life savings on NFTs and meme coins in 2021, I was sitting on a cold storage wallet I had purchased a decade ago. A wallet that was currently stitched inside the stuffing of a tattered, one-eyed teddy bear named Mr. Buttons. Here is the story of how I let my husband destroy himself while I slept on a pillow worth $40 million. The year was 2011. I was a 22-year-old barista dating Jason, who was then just an arrogant computer science student. Jason was obsessed with traditional stocks back then. He mocked internet money. One night, I was browsing a forum, let's call it 4chan or Reddit, and I saw people talking about this Bitcoin thing. It wasn't about investment for me. I just liked the idea of currency that no government controlled. It felt punk rock. I had inherited $3,000 from my grandmother. Jason told me to put it in a savings account. Instead, without telling him, I bought Bitcoin. At the time, the price was around $3 per coin. I bought 1,000 Bitcoins. I didn't think I was going to be rich. I thought I was buying into a cool internet experiment. I put the private keys on a USB drive and later moved them to a Ledger hardware wallet, wrote down the recovery seed phrase on a piece of parchment paper, and then I forgot about it. Well, I didn't forget, I just tucked it away. I hid the device and the paper inside my childhood teddy bear, Mr. Buttons. I opened his back seam, shoved the fortune deep into his polyester stuffing, and sewed him back up with red thread. He sat on my bookshelf, dusty and ignored, watching Jason berate me for buying expensive lattes. Fast forward to 2017. Crypto exploded. Suddenly, Jason was an expert. He didn't know I owned any. He had forgotten I even knew what a computer was. He started buying in. But he bought at the top. He bought Bitcoin at $19,000. He bought Ethereum. He bought coins named after dogs and food. "I'm going to make us billionaires, Sarah," he bragged. I watched him. I checked the price of Bitcoin. My 1,000 coins, bought for $3,000 total, were now worth millions. I almost told him. I stood in the kitchen one night ready to say, "Jason, we're rich. We can stop fighting about money." But then he said something that stopped me. He was screaming at me because I bought organic chicken. "You are a parasite, Sarah," he yelled. "You drain my resources. If I wasn't supporting your dead weight, I'd be on a yacht right now." I looked at him. I saw the contempt in his eyes. If I told him about the money, it wouldn't be our money. It would be his money. He would take it. He would control it. He'd probably gamble it away on leverage trading. So I closed my mouth. I cooked the organic chicken, and I looked at Mr. Buttons on the shelf. Not yet, I thought. By 2022, the market crashed. Jason was leveraged to the hilt. He had secretly remortgaged our house to buy more crypto. He lost it all. Our savings? Gone. The equity in the house? Gone. He became volatile. He started drinking, and of course, he started cheating. I found out the classic way, an unlocked phone. Her name was Tiffany. She was 23. She was a crypto influencer on TikTok. I read the messages. Jason, I'm leaving Sarah soon. She's so boring. She doesn't get our world, Tiff. She thinks a blockchain is jewelry. Tiffany, lol, just make sure you get the house, babe. That was the breaking point. He had lost his money, he had lost our money, but he wasn't going to touch my bear. I started planning. I hired a lawyer quietly. I used my grocery money to pay the retainer in cash. I waited for him to make the move. Jason filed for divorce on our anniversary. He served me the papers with a smirk. I'm being generous, Sarah, he said. I'm taking the house, which was underwater on the mortgage, the car, and the remaining crypto accounts, which were empty. You can have your personal items and $5,000 to move out. He thought he was leaving me destitute. We went to mediation. Jason's lawyer was aggressive. My client wants to ensure Ms. Miller understands she has no claim to his future earnings. My lawyer played the role of the defeated party perfectly. Sarah just wants a clean break, my lawyer said. She is willing to waive alimony if she can keep her personal possessions without dispute. Clothes, books, sentimental items. Jason laughed. Let her take her trash. I don't want her clutter. Then came the itemized list. Jason fought for the 85-inch TV. He fought for the espresso machine. I sat there looking sad, holding a tissue. Can I please keep my collection of stuffed animals? I asked, voice trembling. They have sentimental value from my childhood. Jason rolled his eyes so hard I thought they would detach. Fine, he shouted. Take the damn dolls. Take the teddy bear with the missing eye. Just sign the papers. I signed. He signed. The judge finalized it. The asset division agreement stated clearly, wife retains sole ownership of all personal effects, clothing, and childhood memorabilia listed in Exhibit B. Exhibit B included one vintage teddy bear, brown, Mr. Buttons. I moved into a small apartment. I drove a beat-up Honda. Jason moved Tiffany into the house. 6 months later, the bull run started again. Bitcoin hit $60,000, then $70,000. I sat in my small living room with Mr. Buttons on my lap. I took a pair of scissors. I carefully cut the red thread on his back. I pulled out the Ledger Nano S. I pulled out the parchment paper with the seed phrase. I plugged it into my laptop. My hands were shaking. What if the data was corrupted? What if I misremembered? I entered the PIN. The wallet loaded. Balance, 1,000 BTC. Value, 68 million US dollars, approx. I stared at the screen. I wasn't just rich. I was wealthy beyond imagination rich. I didn't cash it all out. I sold enough to buy a penthouse in the city under an LLC, a new car, and to hire a wealth management team. I kept the rest. Hodl, right? I could have disappeared silently, but Jason is a narcissist. He needed to be humbled. A year after the divorce, Jason was broke again. Tiffany had left him when the money ran out. He was facing foreclosure on the house. I decided to attend a local tech and crypto gala where I knew he would be trying to scam investors. I showed up wearing a dress that cost more than his car. I was wearing vintage diamonds. Jason saw me from across the room. He looked confused. He walked over, holding a cheap beer. "Sarah?" he asked. Did you win the lottery? Or did you find a sugar daddy?" I smiled. "No, Jason, I'm self-made." "Bullshit," he sneered. "You don't know how to make money. You're financially illiterate." "Actually," I said, leaning in close, "do you remember Mr. Buttons?" He frowned. "The ugly bear?" "Yes, the bear you let me keep. The bear you called trash." I pulled up a screenshot on my phone. It was a picture of the Ledger wallet balance, time-stamped from 2011 to present. I bought 1,000 BTC in 2011, Jason. They were inside the bear the entire time we were married. The entire time you called me stupid. The entire time you cheated on me. His face went white, then gray. That's marital property, he stammered. We were married. Half of that is mine. Wrong, I said, pulling a folded piece of paper from my clutch. A copy of our divorce settlement. Clause 14. Husband knowingly and voluntarily waives all claims to items listed in Exhibit B, regardless of current or future value. You fought to give me that bear, Jason. You insisted. He tried to sue. Oh, he tried. He found a lawyer desperate enough to take the case, but the judge, the same judge who oversaw our mediation, was not amused. Jason had declared under oath that he had disclosed all assets and that he wanted nothing to do with my junk. The case was dismissed with prejudice. Jason was ordered to pay my legal fees. Since he had no money, he had to declare bankruptcy. He lost the house. Last I heard, he's living in his parents' basement, posting angry rants on Twitter about how women ruin crypto. As for me, Mr. Buttons is retired now. He sits in a glass case in my library. I sewed him back up with gold thread this time. I travel, I invest in female-led startups, and I never, ever let a man tell me I'm bad with money. I wasn't lucky. I was patient. And in the world of crypto, patience is the only currency that matters.